Hello students, welcome back. This is Dr. Mercado. I hope all of you are doing well. We are going to continue covering some of the exercises in chapter 10 that you're going to be seeing in your homework. Chapter 10 deals with accounting for sales and cash receipts. So in this particular lecture, I am just going to dive into the problem solving. I am going to go over two exercises. It's exercise 10.8 and exercise 10.9. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started. That way I don't waste too much of your time. So this is the first exercise that we're going to be tackling today. It deals with journalizing cash receipts. So we are receiving money from our customers. So it says, enter the following transactions in a general journal. I've already set up the general journal here for us. And then we have a series of transactions that we have to analyze. Now, before we start analyzing transactions, it's very important that we are familiar with the account of accounts receivable. We are going to be using it a lot. Okay, anytime that we the company sell some goods or services on account, which means someone's going to pay us at a later point in time, we have to set up a receivable. That way we keep track of who owes us the money. So accounts receivable is either businesses or individuals that owe us the company money. Okay. Accounts receivable is an asset account. Its normal balance is the debit. So anytime someone purchases something on account from us, we are going to be debiting accounts receivable. Whenever we receive a payment from the customer, then we're going to credit accounts receivable. That is how it works. So when we sell something on account, we debit accounts receivable. When payment is made by the customer, we credit accounts receivable. Okay. Anytime that we sell something, we have to record it on our books as a sale. Okay. A sale is a revenue account. The normal balance of the sale account is a credit. So every time that you sell something, every time that you're going to record a sale in your books, you are going to be crediting the sales account. Okay, that is just a little bit of overview of the accounts, some of the main accounts that we're going to be using in this problem. So July the 6th, what happened on July the 6th? So on July the 6th, James Adler made a payment on account $643. Okay, so James made a payment. He owed someone money and he made a payment of $643. Okay, so we are the company that is receiving the payment. Okay, James owed us money. We are receiving the money from James. So this is where you're talking to yourself, even though it might sound that you're a little bit crazy, but then you ask yourself, what's happening here? Well, James is making me a payment. He sent me a check for $643 to pay his balance. So what did we receive? Okay, well, first we put the date. This is July the 6th. James made a payment, so he made me a check. Now what do I have? I have cash. Okay, I received cash from James, and this could be in the form of cash, actual physical cash, or it can be in the form of a check. It can be in the form of a credit card. It doesn't matter as long as a payment is made. Okay. Whatever type of payment method is used, usually we record it as cash because we are receiving money for it. Okay. So a payment was made. We received cash. So cash is an asset account. The normal balance is a debit. So we have more cash now. That increases my balance of $643. Okay. And then it says that the payment was made on account. So that means that Adler owed us money. So let's look at my accounts receivable. Okay. Whenever a payment is made to accounts receivable, we have to credit the accounts receivable for that customer. So in this case, James made a payment. So now I'm going to credit James accounts receivable. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do accounts receivable. And this is for J. Adler. Okay, remember, always identify the name of the customer. The debit always goes first. The credit goes below and it is indented. Okay. Debits must always equal credits. That is a rule of accounting. Debits must always equal credits. Okay. And then I'm going to put a short description here. We received cash on account. Okay. So that happened on July the 6th. On July the 10th, we had cash sales for the week of $2,320. So we made some cash sales, and we're going to be making these. We're going to be recording these cash sales once a week. Okay, so it's July the 10th, and now it's time for us to record the weekly sales. Okay, and these are the weekly cash sales. So when we made these sales, what did we receive from our customers? We received cash. How much cash did we receive? 2,320. Okay. Now, these are cash sales. The customers paid us right there and then. So what do we have to record now? Well, we have to record the sale. Okay. So now I'm going to credit my sales account. And if you notice here, sales is a revenue account and we need to credit it. Okay. So sales is going to be credited by 2,320. This lets me know that I've recorded the sales for the week and they were $2,320 and we received cash for those sales. So, okay, that's a little description there. Okay. On the 14th, Betty Havel made a payment on account, $430. So Betty owed us some money and Betty is making us a payment. So what did we receive from Betty? We received cash. How much cash? $430. Okay. And Betty made a payment on account. So that means that Betty owed us money. Anytime that Betty owes us money and she's making a payment, we have to decrease the accounts receivable. So we decrease it by crediting it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to credit my accounts receivable. And we have to put here that it's Betty Havel, okay, for $430. Okay. So anytime a customer pays you a balance that they owed you, you're going to debit cash and you're going to credit the receivable, okay? On the 15th, J.L. Borg made a payment on account, $117, okay? Same transaction here. Okay, let me just put a little description here on the 14th. Okay, so on the 15th, another payment was received, but this time from Borg from 117. So if we received a payment, what did we get? We got cash of 117, and it was a payment on account. So that means that Borg owed us money. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to decrease Borg's accounts receivable, and then I'm going to put here. We have to always identify the customer that is making the payment, because once we get to our subsidiary ledgers, we need to be able to identify that transaction to the specific customer. Okay, so always never forget to put the name of the customer every time you have an accounts receivable. Okay, and then we received cash on account. Okay, the last transaction we have is cash sales for the week. Okay. Another week passed by and we had sales of $2,237. Okay, so this is happening on July the 17th. What did we receive? Well, we received cash on these sales of $2,237. And now I have to record my sales for the week of $2,237. Okay, and then this, we made cash sales. Okay. Now, when I'm doing my journal entries, we always need to make sure, of course, that debits equal credits. But I just have the habit of adding my debit column. Okay, this is just extra here information. So I add my debit and I add my credit column, and they need to equal. Okay, that tells me that I didn't make a mistake. Okay. A lot of the times we might transpose a number, or we might just forget to enter. We're in a hurry and we might forget to enter the credit part of it or the debit part of it, whatever the case might be. Whenever I'm working in an Excel spreadsheet or whatever software that allows me to add or tabulate, I go ahead and I add my debit column, my credit column, make sure that they're the same. That way I know that my debits equal my credits. Okay, so these are different transactions dealing with cash receipts. We either receive money from customers that owed us money, or we receive money from cash sales. Those are sales that they paid us cash right there and then. Okay, so that is the first exercise. If you see, it's very repetitive. If you learn how to do one or two of these entries, it's just a repeat. Okay, it's the same entry. Every time you have a cash sale, you're going to debit cash, you're going to credit sales. Every time a payment is made from a customer that owed you money, you're going to debit cash and you're going to credit the receivable. Same entry over and over. It's just repeating itself. Okay? So the next exercise that I'm going to cover is exercise 10-9. Now this deals with a schedule of accounts receivable. Okay, it says from the accounts receivable ledger shown, prepare a schedule of accounts receivable for Fang Company as of August the 31st. Okay, so this is an accounts receivable ledger. So what does this information tell you? Well, the accounts receivable ledger basically gives you the name of the customer, their address, and the balance that they owe you, which is very important. Okay. That way you can call up this customer and request for them to pay you. Accounts receivable should be monitored very closely. The longer you wait to collect the money, the higher the probability is that you're not going to collect it. So you want to make sure that you're always calling, inquiring when will payment be sent out, when will payment be received. You don't want these receivables to age in your books because then it's going to be very difficult for you to collect a year after. Usually, accounts receivable should be collected within the latest 60 days. Anything above 60 days, unless there's stated terms, just the increase of it becoming uncollectible increases with time. So the accounts receivable ledger is basically a breakdown by customer of how much each customer owes you. Okay, and then you have the whatever I marked down here in red. Whatever that balance is, that is the balance, the ending balance that each customer owes you. So you have a list of all of your accounts receivable. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 customers that owe you some money. Okay, so I've also included the definition of what a schedule of accounts receivable is. It's basically an alphabetical or numerical listing. Okay, depending on the company, a customer might be assigned an account number. Okay, a P&G might be account number 101. M Chang might be account number 507. It just depends on the customer. So it could be either numerical, or if there's no numerical number provided, then we go alphabetical. In this case, we do not have a number provided, so we're going to be listing these alphabetically ordered. Okay, so it's an alphabetical or numerical listing of customer account balances, usually prepared at the end of the month. Okay, so they're asking us to prepare a schedule of accounts receivable. Okay, so we always start off with the name of the company, and the name of the company is Fang Company. Okay, and we're doing a schedule of accounts receivable. This is basically a summary of who owes us money and how much. Okay, and they're asking us to prepare it as of August the 31st. Okay, so you always have the name of the company, the name of the schedule that you're preparing. In this case, it's a schedule of accounts receivable, and the date as you're preparing it for. Okay, now because we don't have numerical numbers assigned to each account, we're gonna alphabetize, okay, based on alphabetical order. So we have to go through the list and figure out which one should go first. Okay, so the first one that we should include is B and G distributors. We've got two that start with a B. Okay, the first letter is a B, but if you notice, then the second letter here is a G, and this is a J. So G comes before J, so that means that that would be our first one right there. So it'll be B and G distributors. And you're always going to pick up the ending balance, okay? The last number, the ending balance is 1240, okay? The next customer we have, and we remember it's alphabetical order, we have BJ Hinchcliffe, okay? BJ Hinch. I don't know why they put these complicated names on these companies, but there we go, okay? And Hinchcliffe had a balance of $14.90. There we go. Okay, and then let's continue. Then we have after the B, we go to the M. Okay, that's the next letter in the alphabet. But look at M Chang. M Chang has a zero balance. So because M Chang has a zero balance, I am not going to include him in the schedule of accounts receivable because Chang does not owe me any money. So I'm going to skip that one. Okay, so after Chang, I've got Sally and I've got Trendsetters. So what comes first, S or T? So first we have the S in our alphabet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Sally M Pitts, and Sally has a balance of $8.38. Okay, and then last but not least, we have Trendsetters. Okay, and Trendsetters has a balance of 1,018. Okay. Now we can go ahead and we're going to get our total. Okay. We're going to add the total of our 4 customers that owe us money, and that gives me 4,586. Okay. Okay. So what this schedule tells me is instead of giving all of these accounts receivable ledgers to management that they might not even know how to read, or it might be difficult to locate their information that they're needing, you just give them this report, and this report will basically outline, okay, we have 4,586 in receivables, and these are the 4 customers that owe us the money. Okay. You can go a little bit further. I know when I used to work, we not only included the balance, but we also included the number of days that these receivables had been sitting in our books. Okay. That way we could see, okay, well, B&G Distributors owes us $1,240, and this balance has been outstanding for 138 days. Okay. So we would go that extra mile. Right now, because we're in introductory level courses, we don't go to that level, but just know that you might see that in the future, where it's not just the balance and the name of the customer, but it also includes the number of days the receivables have been set up. Okay, but this is basically your schedule of accounts receivable. It just summarizes the accounts receivable in alphabetical order, just to simplify and know who owes us what. Okay, so that is basically the second problem that I'm going to be covering. Please focus on working on your assignments. If you have any questions, concerns, don't forget to contact me. I am available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And once I receive your message, I will respond as soon as I can. And that is basically it for this lecture. I want to wish you the best of luck on your homework assignments. And until next time, take care.